What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and over the weekend during Saturday, so the Netflix Global Fan Event, TUDUM, we got a new teaser for Stranger Things Season 4, and in this teaser, it's actually giving us more of a look of what the new season of Stranger Things is actually going to be like. It's introducing us to a new location called Creel House, and it's going to show a family moving in, but the family ends up getting murdered, and like the gang has to go and investigate what is likely to be a haunted house because a family was murdered inside that house. So in this video, this will be my new teaser breakdown for Stranger Things season 4. Like, Creel and going over the Easter eggs and stuff that I could connect to previous seasons of Stranger Things, or to maybe Hawkins as well. So let's get into it. So the teaser starts with a family moving into a new house, and with this scene, the first scene that now we see in the teaser with a family dressed up all in their classy looks, is that this is actually taking place in the 1950s in Hawkins. So this is actually a tie-in to Hawkins because in like the last season, because of spoilers if you haven't seen like season 3 of Stranger Things, at the end of it, like half the gang moved away from Hawkins, and the other half of the gang stayed in Hawkins. So this could be a connection or a tie-in to Hawkins somehow. And within this teaser, with the family moving into the new house, in which this is the Creel House, this is actually from the teaser that they put out before the new teaser at the TUDUM event, with probably the gang looking at the newspaper, finding out there was a brutal murder at the Creel House, and that they got to go in the house to investigate the murder. So within this house that the family is looking at and moving into, this house actually belongs to the owner of which is called the Creel House, to Victor Creel, who's going to be played by Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger in the Friday the 13th franchise, who is confirmed to be in season 4 of Stranger Things. And then next, we see the family in the house, moved in and enjoying a normal life as they're doing the normal things. And then things are normal, but then something gets strange and creepy and dark when lights and things and everything around the house start flickering, which means that this house is definitely haunted. And because this house belongs to the owner, which in this house has like flickering lights. And then it gets even more dark and more sinister when a mother and daughter are outside the house, and the mother is watering the plants, and then their daughter is walking outside on the front lawn, and she sees a dead rabbit, which indicates that this house is definitely a haunted house, and that the family is probably going to be murdered inside of it, so it's probably something like even darker in this season. The next, we see the family having dinner when I started to notice the flickering again, and then as we move forward, instead we see a transition from the father and the whole family experiencing it, and then there's like a two-second jump cut between a father standing at the front door and with their two children dead, and then it cuts to a dark house which is all covered in webbing, which means and indicates that the house is old and that the gang has to go and investigate the murder. So it's kind of like a murder mystery. The next we see is the gang breaking into the house to investigate the murder, and then they go inside, and one of them drops a backpack which has a Ghostbusters pin on it. And now this is an exact callback to this is season 2 of Stranger Things, when the boys were literally like dressed up as Ghostbusters. And this is also like a reference to the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie, in which Finn Wolfhard is starring in just a couple months. And then as the gang goes to investigate the murder in the haunted house, we hear Dustin saying a Sherlock Holmes quote, and then which was kind of funny, by the way. And then we see Steve in that shot there, and then he then says Sherlock Holmes, and then walks past him. And then we see the returning characters in this season, Lucas and Max, and so we can assume that like original characters are going to be returning in this season. And then the teaser ends with a close-up of the clock, so which is most likely in the attic, so that the gang is going to investigate in the house and probably go up to the attic to look for more clues. And then we get a close-up of the clock, and as we see on the clock, we see the big hand on the 12 and the big hand on the 3, which indicates 3 o'clock, called the devil's hour. And within this like clock that's telling of the time, this is actually a reference to another teaser that we got a few months ago, which was 11 in the Hawkins lab, probably a flashback. And now with this is most likely going to be the upside down. And now with this, as we get a close-up of the clock, and the background sort of changes color, and then we can see the glass breaking inside of the clock, and then the teaser ends, and then it just says 2022. And now with this teaser, we can probably assume that within this season 4 of Stranger Things, it's gonna be a lot darker than the last 3 seasons, and that in which this is gonna be like a more darker season. And it introduces us to a Creel House, which is owned by the actual owner, Victor Creel, and the gang going to investigate a murder that happened to a family, which is mostly going to be a haunted house. So I'm very excited for season 4 of Stranger Things. Hopefully we'll get another teaser, the final teaser, the 4th teaser, showing where Mike, 11, and Will are at right now. Maybe they're outside of Hawkins, or probably in Hawkins, and then we'll get like the official main trailer, talk about more about the plot of season 4, and then we'll probably get a release it in, at which point to the clocks in the last couple teasers, in which hands-on 3, we could probably assume that it will probably be released in March 2022, but it's just a speculation. But right now it stands at 2022, but we'll get an announcement or something soon down the line. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How excited are you for Stranger Things? What you thought of this new teaser for Stranger Things season 4? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.